Friends, it's Diane, the Creative Inkster, and today is Monday, June the 5th, 2023, and we are going to do this card fold. This is a neat little layout that I came across online that had something similar, but I thought would be perfect for showing off a layer of pattern paper and having your greeting appear through a bit of a window. Really simple, really cute idea. This paper is from the pack called Masterfully Made. So this pack of paper is in our new annual catalogs. I've got a bunch of bits that I've cut here from the first page up. So I'll show you that. I think probably I'll just flip it over and show you that page that I worked from for this card that we're going to make. So I did not notice the beauty of this paper in the catalog. In fact, I feel like that's somewhere where we kind of fall down. Stampin' Up! Catalog doesn't show us all the beautiful papers to their fullest. But a friend of mine used this paper for a project and showed it, and I was just loving it. So this paper literally does look 3D in person. You can see it's got the torn edge look. Back is the berry burst with white showing through. Again, loads of texture. So there's two of each sheet. So we'll fold as we go. And then here is this page. So this is another one where you can cut down, hi Valerie, where you can cut down the middle at 6 inches and even a little smaller and have that strip in between, and then cut these into beautiful card layers. Here's the back of this one. So it's like the berry burst with pretty peacock. Once again, very 3D looking. This is the page that no, this is not the page I cut up. This is the one I looked at first, actually. And the back is some beautiful fresh freesia. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This one is very unique. Just like a whole bunch of torn scraps of paper. So you could use this on anything. Scrapbook pages or any of your cards to add lots and lots of color. And here's the back of it with some words through the middle and then this part cut up here. Now this is the page I used for the card we're looking at tonight. So I've used almost a whole sheet of it. What a pretty floral print, and on the back is pretty peacock with the leaves, which is very similar to this one, only this has some, you can't really read it, but it's like newsprint on the background. So there's the pretty peacock, and then the gorgeous roses with a bright lemon lime twist, and then the back is lemon lime twist. So look at how you could put these two together. Wouldn't that be neat? Hi Brenda. Yeah, I love this. So this is called Masterfully Made, and right now all of our, not all, but I think almost all of our pattern papers, this one for sure, is on sale for the month of June. So instead of $17, it's $14.45 for a pack of 12 sheets. I think that's something you want to get your hands on. All right, so here's our card back again. Thanks for popping and saying hi, Vicki. Do that. If you're watching the replay, let me know as well that you've been here. And these are the pieces that I suggested that you would want to have handy. Now you could use a punch or a die cut, and it does not have to be a circle. What I've done is die cut the circle out here. This is the largest circle die that is a current Stampin' Up! Product that we have, or that I have in my stash. So that's why I chose it. Here's the card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and folded. And we'll just give this a really nice press. And then normally I would put another piece of white on the inside, which I didn't cut yet, but I do want to put a piece of white on the outside. And that's how we're going to have the stamping layer over here. Now on another card version similar to this that I did for my team meeting coming up, is I made this piece exactly the same size, so there isn't the berry burst border. It just went all the way around. So that's another way you can do it. But this one does have it cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then the pattern paper is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it covers the full layer. So when we cut this out, we'll see the white behind, but this is going to go all the way to the edges. And then I've just got the strip of fresh freesia to do my punches. Oh, and I forgot to grab my punch off the wall there, but I'll get to that too. All right, so let's get our cutting done. When I'm working with a circle, it's pretty simple. I don't need to worry about any special placement on this because I know it's going to cut off the right side. So with this in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I'm going to kind of shoot for halfway by quick eye measurement, top to bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to cut off probably about, it's about the inside measurement to the edge of the paper is about 3/4 of an inch. No, maybe more like 5/8. It's one that you can just really just go with. And the larger of a circular area you have, the more flowers you might need to place. I'm going to quickly grab the punch, which, aha, that's why it wasn't where I needed it to be, because I packed it up to go to my class on Thursday night. All right, so I've cut this piece out, but don't throw this away. We're going to use this. Okay, let's grab that card base and the pattern, the white paper. So we're going to put those together. And like I mentioned, I would normally put another piece of white on the inside. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to just add some liquid glue to the back. And we're going to stamp it right after it's been put down, or after it's been put down, so that we get the placement exactly where we want. But I like how this gives a nice little border for the berry burst to show up on the right there. All right, so then remember this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so this is going to cover the front of your card. So this is how I would shore it up. I would put glue on it and then sort of give it a little tap top and bottom so that it goes down evenly. It would look nice that way too. What I like about using the stitch circle, so the circle I've used is from Stylish Shapes, which I use all of the time, and it has a really nice stitched border around it. So let me maybe better add a little bit here. So I'm kind of going to the edges only. I suppose I could put some down the center too. Just being frugal, I guess. All right, so now we're going to stick this on the card front, making sure we have it the right way up. And like I mentioned, I just tap it on the table like this and then tap it this way. And then I know it's going to cover the front nicely. Now, if you do have a little bit excess sticking out over the top, bottom, or side, just get your scissors and cut it off. It's fine. So there's this image here, or this space here. Now I'm going to grab Pretty Peacock. I think any of the colors in this paper would do, and there are lots. All the papers in this pack you'll see on the back of your, in the catalog, but also on the back of your white backing. So whenever I have designer series paper, I keep this with the paper so I can easily see that the different colors. So Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Crushed Curry not so much in this particular pattern, but definitely the Azure, Berry Burst, Fresh Freesia, Little Lemon Lime Twist, Lost Lagoon maybe, and so on. Pretty Peacock for sure. Alrighty, so that's what we're going to use to stamp. And I was kind of looking for something that's more of a vertical fit here. And what I used on the other one was Sending You Smiles for Every Moment of Your Special Day. Kind of like You Make My Life Happier. I just want to take it out and see how big it is to fit in that spot. And then I can decide if I want to pull my flowers in a little closer. So I could do that. But I was definitely looking for something that's more tall than it is wide. All right, so you might have something like that in your stash. We have a new stamp set that's on my list that has verticals in it. Ooh, I feel like I put a lot of, let me just grab a scrap here. I feel like I put a lot of ink on there. Oh, no, maybe not. All right, so I'm going to stick this, centering it top to bottom and over to the right a little more. Remember, when you're stamping, it's a light tap tap into the ink pad, and the magic happens with the press and hold for 3 to 5 seconds. Try not to wiggle it, or you will get it making kind of a funky little mess. You'll get rocking going on there. So that is the stamping for this card. Close that up because we're done with that. And then now for the simple part, I'm going to go ahead and grab my strip, and I used the 5-petal flower, the small one from this punch. So this is called a Petal Park Builder Punch. There are 3 flowers and a leaf, and I'm using this one in the top here. But any would do. I've seen this card done with butterflies and other kinds of images, punched or die cut. Certainly you could do anything you like. The punches for me work really well. And I'm going to punch out 9, 3, 6, 9, because that's what I used on the last one. And just see if I need them all. I may not. 2, 4, 6, 3 more to go. And I'll see if I use them up. And then I'm going to grab an embellishment. So you don't have to put an embellishment on every one of them. That's kind of nice to have them there. But if, embellishments is something you don't have oodles of, I like to use mine up, then, pick and choose. You can also overlap them if you like. And what I did was I put a dimensional onto the back of all of them. I could also have stamped these. These have a coordinating stamp. But I decided not to do that. So let me grab my dimensionals over here. Let's use up this one here. So this is one where I have a whole bunch of leftover bits. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I just cut them on a bit of an angle, and then I'll just pop them on here. I think maybe I'll just cut this little bit off here, because this little tag is probably going to be, whoops, it flew across the room, probably going to just get in the way and show, and I don't want that to happen. You could also alternate colors. That would look really pretty as well. I think this is a really simple layout and easy to work with. Okay, go have dinner. Hope it goes well. Thanks for popping in. Okay, so what I did with this was I did start on one end, and because I'm using a bit of a smaller greeting, I'm going to have these ones a little bit tighter in on the card. So you see it kind of goes up a little bit before it goes around. So they'll be a little bit tighter in on the white. But pretty simple. And even though these aren't all evenly spaced around, I am still turning the petals a little bit so they don't all show up exactly the same petal shape at the top kind of thing. I'm just kind of working around, and I'm letting a little bit more of the white show this time. Whoop, I may need 2. Yeah, so I may just have to make a little surgery here. There we go. Let's put this one here, and we'll move this one up a little bit. There we go. And this one, oops. And they just really easily, I'm not really showing you well how to do that. If your dimensional is not in the location that you want, you can cut with your scissors underneath and snip it off, and then just roll the adhesive off, even like hours or days after you've put it down. Alrighty, so I'm going to move this guy up just a bit, and this guy here. Here we go. There we go. And we have them there. So we have 8 on this one. All right, let's pick some embellishments over here. The iridescent rhinestones are ones that I have oodles of and kind of like. They pick up the color of whatever they're on. So there's small, medium, and large in this. Here's a little piece with 5. We'll just pick those off with our scissors and put them in the middle. I like putting them everywhere, especially when I have enough of the embellishments to go around. Oops. Hey, you, come back. So I'd like to see this done maybe with a square or a diamond or a hexagon or an oval. A different type of shape would look really neat. It wouldn't have to be uniformly a circle. Here we go. And you know me and butterflies. A butterfly going around would be nice too. All right, that's those done. And here we go. Has a different sparkle, but a beautiful sparkle. And then what I would do on the inside, and I think maybe I'll do it on this one. Oh, I didn't put a white on this one either. Well, would you look at that? I'm sure I had a piece of white somewhere. This is my little scrap bin versus the big scrap bin. But I could put my white on the inside, and then I think with the white on the inside, sticking this over like this, or on this side, or even on this side, as it looks like it's coming right off of there. So a couple of different options you can do with what's left over. Think about the orientation of your paper, but use that scrap for something. All right, that is my card for tonight. Super easy, super quick, but another fun layout to play with. So thanks for watching. I hope that you'll be here on Wednesday night to join me. I've got plans to bring an embossing folder technique with another product that kind of shines it up. So do pop by and pop in and see that as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening. Bye for now.